here we are again. This time returning to the Hound Pits with Emily.
So you did the business, did you, Corvo? I'm not one to speak against my betters, mind you, but if anybody ever deserved their fate, it was those Pendletons.
What business are you talking about?
Oh,
Check out Wallace on the dock on the background.
I mean, your ladyship. Forgive me.
It's okay.
Running to shout at the others that we've returned.
Oh. I should concentrate.
It's a really nice little detail, I think.
Young Lady Emily, I'm Callista. I'll be caring for you and schooling you while you're with us.
Pleased to meet you.
As am I. Would you like to see your room in the tower?
Can I see it?
Yes, you may. You'll get to see it all. The entirety of the Hound Pits.
She doesn't seem impressed.
I think I'll like it here. I'll go with Callista, Corvo. I'll see you later.
You do not fail to impress. Armed with a blade, you've changed the course of the city forever. And with the Pendleton twins gone, our own Lord Pendleton will assume their votes in Parliament. In one night, you've done more than most men do in a lifetime. I need to speak to you soon, but for now, Lord Pendleton requests your attention.
This bit is a bit weird if you don't know where he is and don't have the objective markers on. It took me ages to find Pendleton the first time I was playing the game.
Corvo, the Loyalist conspiracy thanks you for your work. I don't know if I can. My own brothers.
We never believed that you killed the Empress. It made much more sense that the Royal Spy Master, now the Lord Regent, was behind it, aided by some of his key allies. We spent a lot of money and exposed ourselves to great risk in getting you out of prison. But we did it because we believe that you're the one that can make the difference.
Oh, and Havelock's looking for you.
I just talked to Havelock. God damn. Not even gonna close the doors, I'm so annoyed.
All right, my friend. Martin's devised our next move. There's a footnote in Campbell's journal that tells us the Lord Regent's mistress sat for a portrait with Sokolov, the painter and royal physician. He'll be able to give us her name. Sokolov lives on Caldwin's Bridge about half the time, out over the river. The catch is that I'm afraid you've got to head out right away.
Martin just keeps staring at me.
On the bridge. Samuel can get you close to the bridge, but you'll have to
Swaying
find
a little bit.
Bring him back here intact, and it'll enable us to make our next move. I can't believe what you've done so far. Escaping from Coldridge, taking down the High Overseer, recovering Emily. You make this old military man proud. That's it then.
Okay, so we're gonna go abduct Anton Sokolov.
It's amazing how many overseers he'd been blackmailing. It really is the key to the Abbey.
Because he knows
Where's Wallace? Wallace! You're promoted,
who the Lord Regent's mistress is. And she is financing the military. But first we're gonna see what's up with everyone.
I don't want to look around right now.
Of course. We can give you the tour later, when you've rested.
I was wondering, do you think my mother is really dead? I saw her get stabbed, but maybe she was still alive and got better. Is that possible?
I'm sorry, Emily. But no. She did not survive.
Oh.
That's very
Did
pretty.
you go to her funeral? Was it fancy and beautiful?
A train of carriages rode through the city. It was very beautiful. Flowers everywhere. And thousands of people wept because they will miss her.
I wish I could have seen it.
I'm sorry, dear.
Okay, time to leave.
Off to Caldwin's Bridge, sir. We'll get our sleep later. Just climb aboard when you're ready. What do you think, Corvo? Caldwin's Bridge. You've been in the city for years, but you lived in Dunwall Tower with the late Empress, so maybe you haven't visited the bridge before tonight. Something to look out for. See all them lights on the water? That's right, we'll be spotted for sure. You're gonna have to shut off their power before I can pick you up. Now, about bringing Sokolov back alive. He's smart. Maybe even smarter than Piero. Got the whole of Dunwall under his thumb with all that natural philosophy business. New technology, potions and the like. Seems dangerous to me. But what do I know? Here we are. I'll meet you at the arches under Sokolov's place when you're ready, Corvo.
You understand now? Curfew means ain't nobody allowed to be just wandering about, except us guards.
Yeah, I know. But if we do see someone, then what? Do we say something? Remind them about curfew?
No, you don't remind them. You chase them down, and you give them a severely deadly beating.
I'm so glad they've got the
Yeah, I got it.
two guards bickering to each other. It goes a long way to add to that whole spiritual successor to thief theme they've got going on. And Sam asked me what I thought about the Caldwin's Bridge. I think it's one of the most fun missions in the entire game.
Is allowed across Caldwin's Bridge until curfew is lifted. Attention all citizens. No pedestrian.
There are some really neat routes you can take, and it's incredibly quick to do it if you've got Link. Even on just a regular, mostly flesh and steel run. This bit, however, seems slightly like cheating. I'm gonna just take the train, enjoy the view, and not have to worry about sneaking at all. On the other hand, going through there is incredibly difficult. Without powers, that is. Great, they didn't see a thing. Next section.
Curse the plague and this blasted curfew. How is anyone supposed to make a living?
Well now, Mr. Pratchett. Even a wealthy man like you needs the city watch. Gangs are cutting throats and smashing windows left and right. And the weepers, excuse me, the plague victims are worse. Are you saying the Lord Regent is wrong for imposing curfew?
It won't do you any good to bait me, officer. But don't worry, I'll be fine. I'll profit. A smart man can come out ahead, even in the time of plague.
Sure, like that Sokolov. He's doing fine. Always a lot of exotic items coming and going from his place. Keeps this place running, at least for now.
Yes, yes, if by exotic you mean foul-smelling as a witch's bottom. The royal physician will be fine too, until he crosses the wrong man.
This isn't the most efficient route through the area I'm going to take, but I think it is the most fun. If you get close enough to Pratchett, he just turns around to look behind you and doesn't close the door behind him, so I don't even need to pickpocket him. And then we can just follow him on a partial tour of his house.
What did she expect? I told her they were trash.
And onto the rooftops. With that guy. Who seems like a decent, sane sort of person. And every mission so far has introduced us to a new security device. With the walls of light in the first one, the watchtowers in the second one, and now the arc pylon.
Duty officer brings it by, and the arc pylon will fry you. Those things? Give me the willies, sir.
You'll be thankful when Slackjaw's boys come down the street to slit your ricker. It'll be fun to watch them turn to ash. There was a time when we didn't need these things to keep a
I could get past doing this without doing this, but
past 20, so why be scared of anything?
this makes it more reliable.
Got some low-life breaking curfew.
There's a couple of thugs skulking around on that side, and you know, taking out the whale oil just makes the fight a bit fairer, and pulls a third guard into it as well. You can get through without doing it, but the window for your movement is much smaller. Plus that's more fun, because it's, like I said, more fair. And that pylon I needed to disable. There was no way around without doing that.
Oh, stupid goddamn.
You can still get around quite nimbly even without blink. And there's the guard I've been all wary about climbing these chains. Really nice view from here. See those cables down there? Those are the ones powering the lights we need to turn out.
You want me to go up and check the whale oil? What for? The lights are working perfect.
Well, there's nothing
No, they're not.
and I like climbing the pillars.
Just leave the oil tanks be, or they'll find someone watching the river. Why they always gotta put me with you?
I sort of wish that would be a slide all the way down. And there are a couple of thugs in the apartment there. They're very annoyed that their friend got caught. Here there's a wall of light blocking access to the end of the area, and that spinning wheel there is blocking access to the whale oil tank that powers the wall of light. So I'm gonna need to turn off the wheel. That guy is incredibly blind. I'm very safe here, though it doesn't seem like that. The guards down there don't really look up. In general, the guards in the game don't look up very much. So there's a control booth for the wheels. And whoops, he accidentally must have flipped the switch there. I don't know why he would do that. That's the wall of light done. And now I just need to wait for him to turn around so I can get through.
Think you'll get your own squad after what happened last night? Indeed, I believe so.
We're at the last section of the bridge.
You've got that look about you, Tracy. You haven't been thinking again, have you?
No, sir. Not thinking.
Talking people
I
are
was just wondering if
just
Sokolov is
almost
testing
entirely blind.
Provide Sokolov with any useful information. It's just a shame. Like that one detective.
She was easy to look at. Seemed nice enough. Shame she has to die. So horrible, too.
It's none of our concern how or why. And if you want your elixir rations, then I suggest you stop your wondering. These are pigs. Pigs for Sokolov's experiment.
That chain seems like a horrible security risk.
Turn my hopes and energies to Formula 25.
Gonna need that.
Which, in conjunction with a high heat therapy, which came to me most vividly in a dream last night, has great potential, according to the latest celestial alignment. As for test subject 312, after the characteristic sloughing of the skin...
I have a feeling Sokolov is just imitating the notes of people who actually get inspiration from the Outsider by the whole dream thing. The Outsider is specific in a conversation you might have with him that Sokolov's just not very interesting. And here's why I needed that elixir.
Drink, bug someone else.
We're outside. Samuel is waiting under the arch down there. The overseer's not looking this way either, which is very nice of him. There we are. It's a lot slower than with Blink, but also much more fun.
Himself. You made a neat job of it. Drop him here and we'll be off.
That was relatively painless. I just needed to break my shins a bit. You can get through the building otherwise, but again, that's just a more reliable way to do it.
They set up a cell for Sokolov in the old kennel. Shackles and everything. It'll be a shock, him waking up in the straw and old dog poop. But from what I hear, he's woken up worse places. Guess we all have at that.
He's sleeping quite soundly for a guy who just got choked out. Should not be unconscious this long. This is worrying for his health.
Well done. I doubt a dozen soldiers could have done it better. Sokolov's knowledge will enable us to strike at the Lord Regent directly, and ultimately help you get your life back. Soon, we won't have to hide in the shadows. The royal physician is brilliant, but he was a fool to protect the Lord Regent. Sokolov gave us the elixir, the war machines. He could have made us a great nation. Now he pays the price for siding with a tyrant. You have my thanks, sir. If you wish to get some sleep, now is a good time.
Yeah, later. We've got to eavesdrop on people's private thoughts first.
Logic is flawed, anyone can see that. And not an original idea to be heard. His notes are a mess if he even keeps them. How he got this far is anyone's guess. He says what they want to hear. Friend of the rich.
Do I hear some jealousy there?
Sokolov's true genius is pampering the aristocracy. Fools.
Please be as quiet as you can. It took forever for Emily to fall asleep. Poor dear. It's okay, Emily, I'm here. She seems happier when you're here. Though I know you have important things to do. Out there, in the city.
If you click on Emily enough,
To work on table etiquette, she knows it all.
she talks about her nightmares.
She'd rather hold her spoon by the wrong
And
end than pretend it's
it's quite apparent that she's also dreaming about the outsider.
asking for a tea party. I tried to oblige her, but I have little to work with. No proper plates instead of a cloth.
So there's the bridge we were at.
Ale mugs instead of teacups. I've asked for things.
And there's Dunwall Tower and Coldridge Prison, right on the other side of the river.
Emily and I decided to make a pretend dinner using paper and little things she's found here and there on the floor, I suppose.
Holger Square is somewhere off to our right in the distance. Past Caldwell's Bridge.
Attention citizens. This evening, the streets adjacent to Pendleton Manor will be closed for a private ceremony following the tragic loss of two of our city's best and brightest, the Lords Custis and Morgan Pendleton. All holdings and parliamentary votes now fall to Lord Trevor Pendleton, who asked for respect during this time of mourning.
Our Pendleton seems to have made quite nice with the disappearance of his brothers.
But our position is becoming more dangerous. You don't house and feed
Don't mind me, guys.
without leaving telltale traces. Riverboats pass day and night, and the looters are going to start gathering once they're sure the plague has burned the place out. I conclude, if our enemies are not dead by the month of wind, we will be. There's a sadness in it, but she's strong. weathering the death of her mother just a half a year ago better than most grown men I've known. Once we take Dunwall Tower, I'll see that her life is better. I've always thought that I'd command the Navy in her name, but sometimes I wonder if I shouldn't just take the title Lord Regent and do it properly.
Yeah. Being the Lord Regent sounds like a wonderful idea. It is going so well for this guy. And now we're off to sleep. Gonna get some information from Sokolov next time.